Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Live Book Reviews Online. As usual, we bring you two great new fiction titles that are very highly recommended. The first is Lies We Bury by ELLE MARR. This is published by Thomas and Mercer, and it retails for $23.95. It's a very complex psychological thriller where it revolves around three sisters that were born in captivity in the basement of a very evil man, Chet Granger. He was caught and he was sent to prison, and now it appears that possibly he may be getting out. Now, one of the girls, Claire, the other two are Lily and Janessa. Claire, who was known as Marissa, she's changed her name because she doesn't want anyone to be able to identify her from her past. Well, she finds a note on the windshield of her car. It's a very cryptic note, and it is about her past. So it's obvious someone knows her. Is it someone stalking her from her past or someone present day? So soon there are bodies that are discovered under the tunnels of the city. And Claire, who gets a job in a newspaper, she's a photographer, she photographs the scenes, and she finds that when she goes there, at the scenes of the crimes are objects from her childhood. So it's obvious that someone who has the inner track to her life somehow. So she meets a reporter who wants to write her life story, and she reluctantly agrees to it. One of the reasons why is because she needs the money. She can barely pay rent. As we discover, the murders become more prominent, and she is also a suspect because things are found at the murder scene that were associated with her. Now, it's ELLE MARR has really given us a very dark book where we're unsure just who is behind this all, and there are some very unique twists right at the end of the book, and of course I'm not going to tell you. But let's just say, Lies We Bury. Do not bury this book in your reading stack. Bring it up to the top of books that you want to read, and you will be satisfied. You'll find a book that is from first page to last. It is a classic in every sense of the word, a thriller that will have you literally on the edge of your chair. The second book of note is Dark Sky by C.J. Box. There's a ABC television series called Big Sky, and it is based on books by C.J. Box. This book is not part of that series. It's just coincidental that it has Sky in the title. But anyways, this is a Joe Pickett book, and I think it's close to 20 books in the series. Joe is a game warden, and he always manages to get into a lot of trouble. And now he is asked to be an escort for a gentleman, Steve Price, who's known as Steve too in the book. He owns a huge multi-million-dollar or multi-billion-dollar media company. So the governor of the state asked Joe to sort of be like the escort to show him around because he is on an elk hunting expedition. So the governor is hoping that Steve Price will bring his company to their state, and which would result in a lot of revenue. So Steve too and his friend and Joe go into the woods, but danger lurks in the form of Earl Thomas and his sons. The reason why they are stalking them is Earl blames Steve Price and his multimedia company for the suicide death of his daughter. She was bullied on one of his media platforms, so he associates Steve Price with her ultimate death. So he and his sons are out there with guns. Now, what happens is they confront Joe and Steve, and all their weapons, all their cell phones, and any form of communication are taken away from them. So one of the members of their party is killed, so that leaves Joe and Steve to fend for themselves in the wilds. So they're like rats in a maze, kind of, as they go from place to place without any form of ways to defend themselves. In the meantime, Joe's daughter Sheridan is worried because she can't communicate with her father. He always texts her or sends a phone message every day, but he's been gone for a couple of days, and she is worried that something has happened. So she gets Joe's best friend Nate Romanowski, who is a falconer, and she asks him to go up to the desolate woods to see if they can locate her father. So it's basically a race against time as Earl Thomas and his brothers get closer to their prey, which is Joe Pickett and Steve too. So this is typical C.J. Box fiction. He writes so well. There's tension at every turn, and it's also in many ways it's social commentary, how social media makes us and breaks us in many ways. But Dark Sky, as the name implies, is a very dark tale, but it is typical C.J. Box, highly recommended, as the first book by ELLE MARR is. And by the way, this is published by Putnam, and it retails for $37. So those are the two books that I just wanted to bring to your attention this week. Hopefully you will add them to your reading list when you go to the bookstore. So thank you again for watching. As always, please keep sending your comments, positive, negative. I look forward to your comments. So anyways, stay social distancing, stay well, stay safe, stay sane, and stay in touch. Thanks again, and bye for now.